It's important to acknowledge that we all have mental health, and as parents we need to support ourselves so that we are able to support others. We can refer to that plane analogy when an airplane's going down and we need to put our oxygen mask on before we can help others. It's also important to surround yourself with community so that you can feel supported and share your experiences together. So what is positive emotional well-being? If we have good mental health, we can do 4 things. Firstly, we can achieve our potential. Secondly, we can deal with life's challenges. We can make and sustain relationships, and we can work productively. This really is what we believe success is as parents, and these are the things that enable our children to thrive. In this talk, we'll be addressing 3 areas: emotions, connection, and identity. And with each of those areas, we'll be dealing with why they're important, but we'll also be giving some practical strategies of how you can apply these to your parenting.
Okay, so the first area that we're going to think about is our emotions, because it's our emotions that underpin all mental health. How we see the world through our feelings. And it's so important to be able to validate our child's feelings. What we need to be able to do is tell them that whatever they are feeling, it's okay. And we're going to be there to soothe them and to support them. So how do we validate a child's emotions? This is strategy 1. And without wanting to start with a load of negatives, there are 4 common mistakes that we as parents can make. And I'm pretty sure I've made all 4 this week. So I will go through them in turn. So mistake number 1 is to dismiss our child's emotions. We might say something like, "Don't be silly, it's fine," or "No, that's not scary." And we might think we're being helpful or reassuring, but actually what we're doing is telling our child that what they're feeling isn't real. And to them, it's very real. And the trouble with telling our child that their feelings aren't real is that they start to doubt themselves. They don't trust their own feelings. And our feelings are really closely linked to our instincts. And it's often our instincts, that kind of gut feeling, that can keep us safe. So it's really important not to dismiss our child's emotions. What they say they're feeling is what they're feeling.
It would be crazy to talk about connection without talking about the impact of digital technology and the need to disconnect sometimes. It's really important that we celebrate the positives that digital technology can bring us in terms of connection. It's important that we balance a culture of fear and risk around digital communication and acknowledge the opportunities that it can bring us, that it can actually help us to connect better, to have deeper relationships that are healthy and fulfilling if we use digital communication in the right way and encourage our children to do so. It's important that our children are guided to the right places and to the right content and to have the right attitudes towards their digital interaction. We find this definition of cyber wisdom really helpful. Doing the right thing at the right time in the right amount when no one is watching. Digital connection can be a barrier to real communication. We notice this as parents when we're working from home, that it can be really easy to slip into some bad habits that don't model good use of digital communication. We need to set those boundaries. The other day, my son came up to me, I was making dinner and I was actually on my phone as well, answering some work emails. And he was talking to me about something quite mundane, wasn't something, I needed to know. And I heard him say, "Your phone makes you deaf." And it was very true. At that moment, I was showing that actually what he was saying was not important. And it showed that my focus and my value was more in my digital interaction. It's so important that we're not sucked into our own technology and that we're able to model good digital boundaries.
You only have to look at toys and magazines, children's clothes, television, adverts to see how these fixed ideas are portrayed. Toys that are marketed at boys are often about speed, power, aggression. There's often a science and technology focus. Those marketed at girls, on the other hand, are often more decorative, more about fantasy, more creative. If we think for a minute about the message this is sending to our children, boys should be adventurous, noisy, strong, risk takers. Girls, on the other hand, should be arty, quieter, more interested in their appearance, more nurturing. A classic example of this is when Lego decided to introduce Lego for girls. Lego Friends is for pink and purple girls who live in Heart Lake City. They go to the Cupcake Cafe, they shop in fashion boutiques, and they get their hair done at the salon. There's nothing wrong with doing any of those things, but there is more to girls than that. We already had Lego for girls. It was called Lego, and we were free to create whatever we wanted. The point of all of this is that in order to thrive, our children need to be free of expectation. They need to discover their own passions, their own interests, and their own individuality.